I was gonna make a video about intuition, and I still think I may. Intuition, or this girly intuition, as all the manly men looking at bare-chested Putin and falling in love would say. But for the time being, thank you to all of you for linking me relevant videos, and I'm sorry I have it set on my channel to hide links because there's just a lot of spamming going on, but I would like to turn that off, except my computer conked out and I'm not sure I'll be able to do it on mobile. So for the time being, I'm going to just manually check the links as often as I can remember. So it is what it is. And this is one of those videos somebody sent to me, Alexander Dugin, telling you chessboard game exactly who he works with, right? And again, I don't mean to overstate the guy's importance, but apparently he is the leader of the largest party in Russia, political party in Russia, who have something like, I'm just going off the top of my head, doing the math in my head, something like 75, maybe 3/4, 75% of the seats in the Russian Duma, right? So yeah, he's a nobody. He's a nobody. Tell us who you work for, right? The devil. Chessboard game. The devil, sooner or later, will tell you the truth, right?
My mission is to help to Mr. Brzezinski to move the figures on the chessboard. There is no other option. No Macron, nobody, no Trump, no Scholz. Please move the figures as I told you. It's your mission. Chessboard game. My mission is to help to Mr. Brzezinski to move the figures on the chessboard. There is no other option.
He's essentially a pawn on the grand chessboard, right? But then he has other pawns beneath him, right? Is Putin one of them? It's complicated, right? So, talking about Dugin, at least once, maybe a couple of times, I used the term grand chessboard, right? Which is Zbigniew Brzezinski's book. And I don't know why I did that. Maybe it's this sign of chaos that shows you, 8 different moves, right? That 8-pointed star. That made me think of that. Or just in some way, shape, or form, thinking and saying that Russia and Dugin, Putin are basically just playing a game with us, right? It's just, these processes aren't necessarily conscious, right? There's more than 5 senses. And intuition, I believe, is another one. But there I was, right? Talking about Dugin and the grand chessboard. I wasn't even thinking about Brzezinski. It just came out like that, right? And then someone sent me this video. Thank you very much. So for those of you that don't know, right? Who is Zbigniew Brzezinski? Now look, I haven't read his book. For what? Right? Big picture. I'm a big picture guy who doesn't have the time to delve deeply into the minds of these psychopaths, right? For fear, in some way, shape, or form, that I may become one, right? Be careful consorting with the devil. But you have all these dorks here on YouTube, highly intelligent people, right? Their nose always in them books. Can't put 2 and 2 fucking together, right? highly intelligent, highly educated, super in depth, well versed in this or that guy's ideology, this or that political system, history, philosophy, what have you. Man, they remember all the names, who related to who fucked who fucked who over. Come on, man, it's amazing, right? Casting motherfucking spells out there. Can put two and two together, right? So for those of you who don't know, who is, and this is all you need to know, who is Zbigniew Brzezinski?
That for the first time in human history, for the first time in all of human history, almost all of mankind is politically awake. And these new and old major powers face still yet another novel reality, in some respects unprecedented. And it is that while the lethality of their power is greater than ever, their capacity to impose control over the politically awakened masses of the world is at a historical low. I once put it rather pungently, and I was flattered that the British Foreign Secretary repeated this, as follows. Namely, in earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people, literally. It was easier to control 1 million people than physically to kill 1 million people. Today, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people. It is easier to kill than to control.
Well, it's all making sense, isn't it?